Hun Purple Creative campaign. Aranbara Hun Purple Creative, an independent organization based in the Aranbara Hun system, has announced plans to build a massive cargo ship to transport goods out of the booming system. In support of this goal, Aranbara Hun Purple Creative has placed an open order for various commodities, and has promised to reward pilots who deliver these commodities to Barnes Terminal in the Aranbara Hun system. The organization has also placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, to ensure that those contributing commodities to the campaign can do so safely. The campaign begins on the 2nd of August 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Alliance Initiative concludes. The Alliance has announced that its appeal for mined resources has reached a successful conclusion, having received an overwhelming response from the galactic community. Huge quantities of raw material were delivered to California Gateway over the past week, which will be used to construct an Ocelis starport in the MEL-22, Sector GMVC-28 system. With the campaign at an end, Alliance official Torvin Dast issued the following statement. We are grateful for the efforts made by those pilots who helped bring this initiative to fruition. Construction of this starport will make the long journey to the California Nebula safer for traders and colonists alike. Construction of the new starport is expected to begin soon. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from California Gateway in the Sinufai EBR C-75 system. Riri McAllister shot. Former Rear Admiral Riri McAllister has been shot. She is currently undergoing medical treatment. The incident took place at the Alliance Chamber of Justice on Turnus World in the Alioth system. McAllister was on trial for organizing acts of terrorism as Nexus, founder of the League of Reparation. Deputy Inspector Mara Klatt, who was delivering prosecuting evidence at the trial, briefed the media. Shortly after McAllister took the stand, she was struck by a single shot from the visitors' gallery. She is now in intensive care and awaiting transport to an advanced medical facility. Assuming she recovers, the trial will continue at a later date. The shooter has been identified as Polly Cartesius, daughter of Nestor Cartesius, an Imperial senator murdered by the League of Reparation. She used a concealed laser firearm specially designed to avoid security scans. She did not resist arrest, and it is clear that this was an act of revenge for her father's death. As she is an Imperial citizen, we have extradited her to the care of the ISS. Polly Cartesius was last seen in public 2 weeks ago during her father's ceremonial funeral, which saw his body entombed in the Hall of Martyrs beneath the Imperial Palace. It is thought that she traveled to Alliance space using false identification. Captain Niam Sutonia has taken Miss Cartesius into custody and returned with her to Capital, where she will stand trial for attempted murder. Aisling Duval assassination foiled. An attempt to assassinate Princess Aisling Duval has been prevented by the Imperial Internal Security Service. The attempt occurred in the Zhao system during a fundraising event for Unchain, the anti-slavery charity formed by the princess and campaigner Jarl Torito. Captain Takeo Diomedes of the ISS gave his statement. Shortly after the fundraiser began, Princess Duval's security detail detected explosive charges in key locations across the event center. We immediately evacuated the building. The explosives, which were of amateur design, were disabled. Forensic analysis is underway to determine their origin. Aisling Duval has not addressed the incident, and is continuing her fundraising duties for Unchain. Her fiancé, Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester, made this comment. Had the explosives not been found, they would have killed hundreds of innocent people. Aisling and I are grateful to both federal and imperial security services, which are working together to ensure our safety. This is a splendid example of interpower cooperation, which we hope will soon be commonplace.
Hello everybody, Mr. Moo, here in the cockpit, here in Elite Dangerous, here in HIP 7370, collecting some things. Things that were dropped off, things that other people would like things to, like to be recovered. Sanson, where are the blueprint images from? Those are from, let me pull it up here. Let's see here. The Elite Dangerous blog, actually. Let me pull this up and link you up. There we go. And hello everybody. Let's get some shout outs going here. Shout out to Arkina. Thank you so much for the follow. Phase Space Administration, welcome to the crew. And Datafile, welcome to the crew. Hope to see you all soon. Pull up a seat when you get here. Welcome to the show. Max Kai, Sanson, Arkina, there you are. Let's see here. It's Sniper Man. Marino Twine, Commander Varad, Grislago, the Eric G, Ghost Tracker. We got a full house already. Hello, everybody. So yeah, we're doing a little bit of shall we say, search and recovery, recovering equipment that certain people would like. Not for our war effort, yet, but we'll be getting to that. But yeah, right now we're on board the Indecent Proposal because, well, this is very good for being quiet. Vox, just trying to wrap my head around 4 systems and their state machines and sub-state machines. Whee! Yeah, Challenger. This thing, I haven't found a strictly combat role for the Challenger. I find this to be a very good stealth transport and stealth combat ship. Well, hybridized, I should say. So yeah, how is everybody? Hell of a news report, huh? Riri McAllister, she got shot while on trial. I don't think she's gonna make it. Aisling Duval, somebody tried to blow her up. The explosives were of amateur design. And for those who don't know, Eagle Eye has updated, and here's one of the big, here's the big bombshell. The Kamehameha system is targeted by Thargoids this week. I am very glad I have no Imperial ties, and I am also very glad it is on the other side of the bubble from us. Because that's going to turn into a bloodbath if I had to make a guess. For those who don't know, Kamehameha is the headquarters system for Emperor Orisa Lavigny Duval. So the Thargoids are targeting a not just a player group system, but a power play headquarters. That's going to be all kinds of interesting, especially if other factions who don't like Orisa, they may actually go in and try to help the bugs out. Now, I'm not so naive as to say that, the only good imp is a dead imp. There's degrees in there. Orisa seems like, on the surface, seems like one of the good ones. She's not a huge fan of slavery from what I can gather. On the other hand, if she just went and tried to abolish it, she'd have a massive civil war on her hands. Blood Drunk, how's everybody doing? Doing alright. This is where you take a sip from your cup, sit back and say, ah yes, drama. When you put a power plant that your ship can't support and you float right off the pad. Oh, I've done that so often. Well, Ghost Tracker, isn't that, you could say that about the Alliance too and be totally accurate. The Alliance is like trying to herd a bag full of angry cats. Except they aren't in the bag. Wonder what will happen when they threaten a Xeno ally system? Oh, then you're really going to get blood in the water. But either way, if Frontier plays this to a certain logic, Aegis involved in the system, that could actually make things worse for Orisa. This is a massive blow either way.
Awaiting orders.
Cargo scoop deployed. Silent running.
But I mean, look at it this way. Aegis comes in, and stand or fall, that is going to be a big blow to the Emperor herself. It's either going to be a case of, you know, the system fell and the Emperor can't protect you, and Aegis is here to help, or, you know, you were saved because Aegis showed up. Interestingly enough, nobody showed up to intercept me here. Alright, we can work with this.
Mission objective complete. Incoming mission critical message. Cargo scoop retracted. Phone signature restored.
But yeah, Orisa, when she got the throne, she inherited a massive headache. It's kind of like BattleTech. By which I mean, and I've said this before, but when Sun Tzu Liao took the celestial throne of the Capellan Confederation.
Confirmed. Arrival in 5, 4, 3,
One moment.
2, 1.
Because, of course, this would be about the time that a garbage truck shows up, because why not? But as I was saying, it's kind of like when Sun Tzu Liao took over the Capellan Confederation, his very first words were, "It's all mine now." Damn. And I can't help but think that Orisa had kind of the same reaction to all this. As a beginner, is it a good idea to explore the center of the galaxy? There's worse. I mean, it's certainly well traveled. There are stations out at like 10,000 light years. My rescue keelback is horrible, but I like it. It feels like it was made for this role. It's just terrible at what it was made for. Truly, you have dizzying intellect. But no, Orisa, from what I can tell, is not a big fan of slavery. I mean, when at her coronation, she asked for loads and loads of slaves, legal and illegal. And then she freed them all. And so from what I can tell, she's doing her best to try to subvert the system as well as she can while being, you know, while supposedly being there to uphold the system. She is very practically Zen. Max Kai, yeah, there's the Imperial slaves, which are, you know, in the Empire, legal, and there are, because they are bonded, they've got contracts. The Imperial system for slavery is supposedly indentured servitude. You enter into a contract, you work for a set amount of time, you're freed. You have vacation days, you have medical care, you have, you know, good medical care, not like, hey, let's take this person over to the vet. You have good medical care. You're supposed to have a standard of living. Imperial slaves are supposed to be well taken care of. Now, there's a lot of stuff that casts doubt on this. Yeah, Ghost Tracker, most of this is lies. It depends. If you have a true believer in the Imperial system who owns slaves, then yeah, they could be trying to take care of their slaves as best they can, as legally mentioned. However, that is not the case in many cases. Sanson, you remember all the crash issues I had before I updated the NVIDIA drivers? Got a driver update notice and I'm nervous. Yeah, I did too. So yeah, there's the Imperial slaves, and then there is the illegal slaves, or the non-Imperial slaves. Those are what most people think of when they think slaves. People crammed into cargo canisters and, you know, basically treated as property rather than contracted workers. Unfortunately, the two get conflated quite a bit. Now, I'm still not a fan of the imperial slavery system. I will say that. But, as it's supposed to work, it will supposedly help people out. But if you check out the Elite Dangerous RPG, you know, the official RPG stuff like that, it talks about they had a Falcon DeLacy representative. There's certain star systems where you are classified. Hardcore, thank you so much for the host. You are classified as a refugee, and you qualify for a free Sidewinder if you can get to the right, if you can sign the right paperwork and get to the right place. And the FDL rep was saying basically, yes, the Imperial system is supposed to be good, but I've seen enough former Imperial slaves burst into tears when they see a standard issue cargo container that I know exactly what the Imperial slavery system is like.
Mission objective detected.
Alright, part 2 of our little, recovery jaunt.
Awaiting orders.
Silent running. Cargo scoop deployed.
Pretty sure it's these commercial samples and not actually the bio-waste. Alright, we may have to work quick here because it looks like these samples are... Yep, they're moving. They're falling towards the planet. They're slowly falling towards the planet, but they are moving.
Mission objective complete. Incoming mission critical message.
Reading the details on the chief schematics, I think I may have made a chieftain designer have a stroke. What did you do?
Cargo scoop retracted.
And I believe we're still in stealth mode. Yes, we are. Beautiful.
Phone signature restored.
Committed to the Federal Assault Ship for combat, sold the Fer-de-Lance. What brought you to this decision, Eric G?
Frame shift now engaged. No anomalies detected. Safety protocol.
And give me 1 second here, I need to shut a window. Ah, hardcore. Yes, that is Celeste. So much better without a backup beeper going off in my ear. So yeah, I've also equipped this thing for ground assault. As you can tell. I've removed the torpedo launchers. Those are going to go on another ship to be determined at a later time. Though I've got an idea or two. So yeah, here's what I'm doing, and if there's any representatives from the group here in chat, please speak up. Oh, sorry, Ray. But no, if there's any representatives from Royal Phoenix Corporation or is it Royal Phoenix Wing in chat, let me know. But Royal Phoenix Corporation has expanded into Arita Sector KC-V C2-20, and they've drawn even with us in influence. Now, we want to kind of get our butts bounced out of this system. It's a great system, but it's one more logistic headache than we really want to deal with. So we would like to leave the system. So what I'm doing is slightly buffing Phoenix's standing. Just a little bit, just enough to get him out of the 5%, you know, open up the 5% cushion. Then we don't have a war, because we've already got a war. We're full up on wars. We don't need any more. But given this system has a relatively small population, you know, not everybody should be, you know, immediately trying to buff their influence, because then we're going to put them through the roof and, oops. So this is requiring a little bit of a finer hand. And yet I'm the one doing it, so grain of salt. Copy Tower 1-7. Legion of One, good morning. How are you doing? Gear down.
Lowering gear.
Descend to flight level 200.
But yes, if there's anybody from Royal Phoenix Corporation here, let me know. I tried contacting you via, Inara, but haven't received a reply yet. 200 credits in repair. We can deal with that. Now, also, there was an update to Voice Attack in the Voice Attack profile, so I got to change some stuff around here, and may as well turn this into a lesson right now on how to kind of play with that. Keelback is meant to be a dangerous scenario hauler, which is basically what hauling people is. Still got hot, but it's not unmanageable. I'm only saving 32 people at a time from damaged stations. Yeah, Ghost, I am... There are so many other ships that can handle dangerous scenario hauling. I mean, a Type 6 can do it better. And getting hot with explosives, I mean, it's... When it says dangerous scenario, it means getting shot at, not... this. And it's still not very good at that. But if I don't want to turn this into the listen to me glitch and moan about a Keelback stream, we really ought to do something different right now. That is some high influence. I am not equipped for that right now. Low depot, low depot. Accept that. Accept that. And anything else really high? Do 54 tons of explosives. Yes, in an unshielded ship that likes to run silent running. I'm sure that won't go bad at all. Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of Alex, but I was trying some variety around. I've just got the crew shuffled around right now. Anyway, I need to do some modification here, because I was noticing a lot of my commands aren't showing up, so we're going to have to throw up the editor here. And, yeah, you can see it here with me. Let's see here. So I'm in the editor, next system. That would be... Maps, next system en route, next destination. So what I'm doing is, I'm just... And this isn't actually showing, damn. Alright. But basically where it says... Where it's showing all these commands, next system en route, semicolon, next destination en route, going to double click on this and add in my own little contribution here, which is resume course. And then I can say that and it'll kick in. Legion of One, been jamming Monster Hunter World because of the latest title update. Behemoth is pissing me off. I haven't played Monster Hunter World. What about Behemoth is that bad? Let's see here. Then... let's see here. Ship, engine, hyperspace. I'll just add in jump. Apply it, and we're done. Okay. Got a couple of light-duty missions, nothing major. Throw a little bit more influence their way, and we are set, I think. Oh, I wanted to see what was going on here with the local extra-legal Glee Club. Defense Party, Errantry Alliance. Oh yeah, there is no extra-legal Glee Club here. Whoops. Oh, okay. They have a Final Fantasy collaboration right now. Okay, I can see where, you know, fighting a Final Fantasy villain and... I'm familiar with Behemoth from Final Fantasy. Gear up.
Landing gear retracted.
And we are clear of mass lock. Jump.
Aye, Commander.
And there we go. Alright, commands entered in and properly executing. Newest monster added yesterday. Muscles on top of muscles and hits like a dump truck.
Maximum velocity.
I think I went to high school with them.
Temperatures are at an acceptable level.
Incoming mission critical message.
Yeah. Get the data here, get the data here. I can get the data here. Keep your pants on. Time bonus. Yep. I can do time bonus. And then we'll grab some more planetary scan missions and see what else we can scan things with. So it looks like I've had crappy luck with the big 3. Or the big 5, I guess. Now, I don't have a cutter, but I can't imagine that's going to be any good either, because while the cockpit is near the nose, it is not on the nose, and that is a deceptively large ship.
Kids these days and their crazy language, am I right?
Arkina, thank you so much for the host. Greatly appreciated. Alright, nobody chasing me either. And if that keelback is trying to pirate me, well, I've got the equipment for that. But no, Ghost, I just, I don't know what the keelback is good at all, other than dying. I want it to be good at something. Hell, I found thinking outside the box a little bit, I found that the Alliance Challenger is actually a perfect smuggling ship, in my opinion, at least for my needs. So it's not like I'm bad at repurposing stuff into other stuff, but the keelback is just... The big selling point on it was the ship-launched fighter, and incorporating that feature utterly killed the design. So you can't use it for what it's designed for, and yet good for boosting into 4G planets. Well, there's that. Gear down.
Gear down.
Maybe it's meant to be like a combat trader hybrid? Possibly, but I mean, if you set it up like that, I've seen very little point for it to be able to, it can't transport enough cargo, and it can't fight well enough if it can transport enough cargo. Darkroon, just don't look at the front of a Type 6 and the Chieftain too closely. Oh, I know that they took the Chieftain and the Challenger. They took some basic space frame parts off a Type 6, and that is amazing. To look at a Type 6 and go, wait, a midpoint between that and a Type 6, isn't a midpoint supposed to be cheaper instead of 3 times more expensive than the Type 6? But no, that's saying that, that's like finding out that this little bread box you have, the Type 6, is actually, it bolts more engines onto it and it becomes the bread box of doom. Turns a bread box into a kaboom box. You know, here we have a Honda Civic, here we have an Aston Martin, and here we have a Bugatti Veyron. And the Veyron is the halfway point. No, it's not. Also, I feel very dirty for now just even trying to compare a keelback to a Veyron. I am so sorry, I just meant in terms of price. Great, now I'm gonna have to do penance somehow. Yeah, parts commonality is a major plus for military supply chains. DJ Henjin finally got to catch another stream. Welcome aboard. Veyron is crap. I don't know you anymore, man. I just don't know you. Adensu. Let's see. I'm imagining the picture of Homer with the cornflakes, where he poured a bowl of cornflakes, he poured milk into the bowl, the cornflakes burst into flame. How do you mess up that bad? Fair enough, Eric G. I'm a mad engineering type sometimes, so... From a mechanical standpoint, it is incredible. You know, that they had to actually redesign the mirrors because the mirrors were providing lift. Gear up.
Gear coming up.
Just remember, need to go farm grid resistors and vanadium. Grid resistors shouldn't be so hard, and I know vanadium is relatively easy to get to. Right. So, okay, that's my good deed for Royal Phoenix taken care of. Give him a nudge without throwing him over the top.
Of years I lay dormant. Who has disturbed my...
Hey, best buddy.
Oh, it's you.
DJ Hengen, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Greatly appreciated. Sub hype and spaceship moves into the chat, please. There are better cars out there than the Veyron, and cheaper too. I agree. It was...
Frame shift now engaged.
It is wildly
No anomalies
impractical.
detected.
And at the same time, I don't... It's
Temperatures are at an acceptable level.
It's like that guy on YouTube who can make knives out of cardboard and fish and carbon fiber. Is it amazing? Yes. Is it a test? Is it skilled? Oh God, yes. Do you really need a knife made out of fish or ice? Hell no. Dude made a knife out of underwear. And you thought the fugu was poisonous. Yeah, the Jello knife. Ah, the space shuttle. So much promise, so much over-promise. It was a very nice knife. Get out. Oh, and now I need a sound clip of Reverend Lovejoy going, I cast thee out! That's it. No more Mr. Knife Guy. The shuttle did deliver, just cost 10 times what they were hoping. Yeah, and it could only fly on at 1/10 of the rate they were hoping. Curious Droid had an interesting video on the Buran, the Soviet aerospace shuttle, and in how many ways it was superior to the U.S. design. I mean, they had benefit of, benefit of seeing what didn't work there, but Mr. Headsworth, hello there. I do think that it had some certain design elements that were superior. Kind of sad that it only flew the one time. Gear down.
Lowering gear.
And hello, Dazzy Star. Welcome aboard. What's up? Hopefully that that little tutorial on how to use the wave scanner in the SRV helped a bit. Come on. There we go. I mean, related to spaceflight, my favorite conspiracy theory, which I know there's no real hope in hell of it being true, but at the same time, I really wish it were. My favorite theory on it is... that there was actually a third XB-70 Valkyrie built. And that it can launch an X-20 dinosaur off the back, like the old, MD-21 mothership and drone concept. Commander Varad, meanwhile, Elon came by and said, I want to build a rocket and have the first stage come back and land like the cartoons. Everyone laughed. No, everybody didn't laugh. The DCX proved it could be done ages ago. In fact, most of the DCX program went over to either him or Blue Origin. And, yeah. Of course, well, Elon also said, I can terraform Mars, and NASA said, no you can't, it is physically impossible, there isn't enough carbon dioxide, and there's no way to retain atmosphere. Amazingly, he's refrained from calling all NASA scientists pedos at this moment, so we'll see if that holds up. Headsworth, I recently got back in the game and I'd like to ask you a question, if that's alright. How important are engineers? In PvE, you can get by without them. In PvP, I would say, well, I can't really say because I'm not a major PvP player, but, well, for PvE, you can get by without them, but they do make the world so much easier. Ghost, I think Mars is terraformable. You're going to have to find a way to retain atmosphere. With engineers, you can get a ship boosted to... You know, I've got a 77 light-year Anaconda. Yeah, Vox has it right there. Engineers can make crap ships good and good ships godlike. For exploration, I've got a 77 light-year Anaconda. Also, if you pick up the Horizons update, which has the engineers, even if you don't deal with the engineers, you can go to, say, Guardian star systems and pick up, you know, if you farm the equipment there, farm the data, farm the materials, you can unlock Guardian equipment like jump drive boosters, which will give you between 2 and 10 light years. Alright, Silas, what do you got for me? Nope. Okay, here we go. Wartime surface target scan operation. Why not? Any more of those? Yes, we do. Alright. Yeah, the problem is that Mars lost its magnetosphere, and now it's just got little pockets, little magnetic pockets, basically, which do preserve some of the atmosphere, but given its gravity, you need to... Yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to get Mars terraformed. I mean, Elon was suggesting if you nuke the planet enough, you can get a greenhouse effect going by melting the CO2. Or melting the ice, getting CO2 going. But the atmosphere won't retain that volume. And there isn't enough. I mean, the numbers ran on... The numbers ran on getting Mars to have a breathable atmosphere. And the numbers of what they got in the, even in the soil, let alone in the ice, just doesn't add up. Gear up.
Gear up.
Now, maybe if you crashed a comet into it. Maybe. Set a course for home.
Stellar cartography. Course locked. Stand by.
Mr. Headsworth, here's an example, actually, of engineering. This Challenger. So, frameshift drive aside, let's just focus on two things. My power plant, which I've got a low-emission power plant on, and I don't think I have thermal spread. I should really look into that. This is a low-emission power plant, and the thrusters are going to be up here. They are running clean drive tuning and thermal spread. So, right now, I'm running at 13% heat. If I turn on my silent running...
Silent running.
You know what it's like, usually, when you turn on silent running. I'd have the Jeopardy theme playing here, but I'd probably get sued. That's when my engine's at 0. I can accelerate just fine. I can fly around at full speed. I think it's north of 20% where your ship ends up being spotted if it's only running passive heating instead of silent running. And given the number of heat sinks, which I could also engineer to have more ammo on board, I can stay in silent running for, if I switched out that chaff launcher for another heatsink launcher and engineered all of these to be full ammo on the heat sinks, I could stay in silent running for over an hour. Now here's what happens when I use the boosters. Yeah, heat goes up a little bit, but I still haven't fired off a single heatsink.
Phone signature restored.
Jump.
Affirmative.
You can boost the armor on the ship. Mr. Headsworth, are you familiar with the Alliance Chieftain? Can you jump to Super Cruise without overheating? That's a very good question, Vox. Let's find out.
Integrity is within limits. All other systems are now at normal levels.
I'm going to guess not, but, you know, that is a very good question. You know it's a ship, alright. When it came out, everybody was saying it is a hull tank. Its shields are just kind of its shields are glorified bump shields. With engineering, a chieftain becomes a terrifying thing. Alright, let's drop down to real space here. And let's see if I can't get a super cruise here. Yeah, it's agile, it's fast, it hits like a train. The shields will take a pounding. Alright, going to silent running and going to super cruise. Okay, you can easily go to super cruise. Also, with engineers, you can, when it comes to boosting your jump range, a good engineer will give you something like 55% jump range boost. So if you've got a 20 light year ship, add 50% of that, you've got a 30 light year ship now.
Awaiting further instructions.
So yeah, that's why my Anaconda actually now has a 77 light year jump range, 80 if I'm on a half a tank of fuel. And I know that, you know, there is an argument you do not need a massive amount of jumping in order to make an exploration ship, and that's true. But it will at least get you to where you want to go much faster. Bought the Explorer kind of for jump range and transport. Don't know if that ship was ideal or not. No, an Asp Explorer... Well, if it's an Asp Explorer, yes. If it's a Diamondback Explorer... Transport... Or for jump range, yes. For transport, less so. But no, between engineering... Okay, Asp Explorer, it's a decent... Well, it's a great long-range cargo ship for its size and for its price. There's other ships in that size class that'll carry more, but it's got a good range on it. You can use that for rare goods trading, among other things. But my Asp Explorer, so I've got a Guardian jump drive booster on it, and I've also got engineering, and that will hit 64 light years. Thereabouts, anyway. So really good for exploration. Good, good fuel scoop on it. Some bump shields to handle, questionable landings. Some auto repair units. And then you can take a neutron boost and... yeah, 24, that's not... yeah, an exploration build, everything is chopped down to its bare bones. And also, I've engineered it for maximum lightness. So the engineers also come in handy there, not just raw boost of jump range, but also trimming weight down everywhere. And there's Eric Gray in the Spirit of Fire. Lakon, Kilo, Yankee, Lima, request docking clearance.
Access granted.
Pad 2-3.
11 o'clock far.
11 o'clock far. Gear down.
Gear down.
Do you bother putting hardpoints on a transport ship because of the added weight? Depends. I've got hardpoints on this thing because it's a smuggling ship, and being stealthy, it is fairly good at killing things. But you don't need to. I mean, there's two... I mean, you can either win the fight or you can survive the fight by running away. It just depends on what your style is. Alright, so we're back at Narvard. So, class, what do we want to, what kind of ship do we want to see if we can get a planetary scan going with this time? I've got a few. Got a Sidewinder, a Hauler, a Cobra 4, Viper 3, Imperial Eagle, DB Scout, regular Eagle, the Vulture, which we know we can do it, Viper 4. Let's see here. Does voice attack use key inputs or does it directly interact with the program? It depends. If you're using an HCS voice pack, it interacts directly with the game. If you're using Marino Twine, Keelback, Mr. Headsworth, Asp Explorer... well, Mr. Headsworth is new here. I know an Imperial Courier can't do it because it's got that long-ass nose on it. Oh god, I've got the Raggedy Man. I really don't want to do this with a Keelback. But no, Ada, you can do it, if it's an HCS voice pack, it will most likely interact with the game itself. Well, that's a bit of a cheat, because it actually, HCS voice packs will customize keystrokes and then use those. So it's all based on keystrokes, really. Alright, we will run the Keelback once. And then we'll do an Asp Explorer for the other one. You can still do it with the iCourier, it's just in a funny way and not the very tiny outposts. Okay, I'm looking for stuff that'll do the very tiny outposts as well. I hate this ship. I hate this ship. I hate this ship. Jump into stream, instantly see a Keelback. This can't be good. You are correct. It's not good. This is, in fact, the opposite of... This is as far from good as you can get without the universe curving back on itself and reapproaching good. And Gret isn't here to see it. Well, that's just too flippin' bad, ain't it? Galaxy map.
Choose somewhere interesting this time. Please?
Either way, we're gonna have to make 2 jumps here. Yeah, it's... 7420. Oh god, do not tell me. Okay, good. Alright, we're gonna cheat a little bit here. Alright, Varad, sounds like a good idea. Could you bring me back something? A shot of whiskey, a shot of whiskey, a gun, and 2 bullets, please. Gear up.
Raising runway modules.
That looks awesome. If you mean the keel back, well... Why 2 bullets? So I can shoot the designer of the keel back first. And twice, just to be sure. Oh, the voice attack? Yeah, that's good. Galaxy map.
Galaxy map.
No, really. Hip 7420. Why is it not... There. Alright. Xbox has some good points to it, but yeah, unfortunately expandability is not one of its abilities. Ghost Tracker's also on Xbox, so... Yeah, it's the Xbox One X, so it's good, but... No, I mean, the Xbox has a lot of advantages to it. Unfortunately, expandability just ain't in the cards for it.
Mission critical message.
Alright, let's get the Discovery Scanner going.
Incoming mission critical message.
Alright, where is this damn thing at? "3,000 light seconds this away." The majestic honk of exploration. Yep. Mr. Headsworth, you do have a gaming computer, just not that powerful by today's standard. To be honest, though, I have gotten Elite Dangerous Horizons to run on an Asus, oh, what was it, a T100 TA Windows tablet. It didn't run well, but it did run. So pretty much any computer will run Elite. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to turn down the graphics on it, but it is runnable. It is doable. Yuki. Yuki has turned into a kitty loaf. Yuki is sitting right next to me on her, on the little kitty bed. And she is rolled over and is asking for tummy rubs. Oh, they got Elite to run on a toaster? Neat. Internet of Things. What a terrifying security and logistical nightmare. I mean, it... So, okay, as we approach here, a keelback should scan. I mean, I don't see how it couldn't. Unless it also is so full of fail that it even fails at that. Which, to be honest, I would not put it past a keelback to have that degree of fail to it. Is this game good in VR? Oh god, yes. Right now I'm just running a basic head tracker, but I have a Vive, and I do play when I can in VR. It's incredible. It gives you a whole new sense of scale with the game. Yeah, they should basically be, you know, a planet with a ring system or two... Yeah, or another, you know, expansion onto that planet's rings. Yeah, Track IR is very good too, and I can turn it on and off, so if I'm looking around in a dogfight, it's very useful. But this way, anybody watching the screen, if I'm looking at something over here... I don't have the head tracking discipline, to be honest, for VR streaming. Not yet. And I really, really think it would hurt the channel if my viewers started getting sick. This way I can toggle it on and off. That's right, there's a keelback coming for you. My god. The security guard at this place just... He's heard about what's happened at the other places, now he's just grabbing a bottle. Did we attempt one of these earlier with an Anaconda? Yes, we did. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it to, work. Love the way the engines sound on this ship. Why? It sounds like a toilet flushing. Sounds like Prince Albert's boiler. The boost on this thing sounds like Victorian plumbing. Alright, we can scan it in a keelback. There. Set a course for home.
Stellar cartography. Course locked.
Welcome back, Varad. A keelback can scan things. There. Whoop-de-crap. Wait, you knew? And you still told me to...
I am in intense pain.
Morons on my team!
Just leave the bounty on the keelback, see how long it takes. I'm with you on that. So what's so bad with this ship? Okay, so... Okay. So the long story short is the keelback was rolled out as supposed to be an armed freighter. A Type 6 with bigger guns on it and the ability to carry a fighter.
Scanning for anomalies. None detected.
Unfortunately, this was supposed to be superior to the Type 6, and while the armor is better and the shields are better than a Type 6, it is also slower, less maneuverable, and carries substantially less cargo if you want to actually equip it with a fighter to protect the now meager cargo you're hauling around. It tried to do too much. Oh, and when this ship originally came out, it was not even a multi-crew ship. So if you wanted to get out in the fighter, you had to hire a pilot who was going to take away from your cash, but to the tune of at least 10%. Or you got out in a fighter and then there was a totally unarmed keelback just kind of floating about. Yeah, the Crate is the ship the keelback should have been.
Limits. All other systems are at normal levels.
Oh, here we are, pretending to know where we're going again.
Eli, this is neither the time nor the place. Sounds very useless. There you go. This guy gets it. So yes, if you equip it for hauling cargo, it can't actually turn and fight. If you equip it for fighting, it can't haul cargo. Engineers can make a bad ship good. Yes, however, that's a ship. This is a pile of shit with 2 engines attached and a cockpit at the front. And believe me, they got out the best turd polish they could. They pulled out the top shelf turd polish on this ship, and yeah. Well, okay, the funny thing, Varad, about the Bradley, and yes, I posted that link to the Pentagon Wars yesterday. What you didn't see was at the end of the movie, it's mentioned that all of the changes, or all of the work that the last officer in charge of the Bradley development program, he fought tooth and nail to get all of the shortcomings on that thing fixed. And because of that, it was a lot more survivable in the Gulf War. SRV is on its back. How do I write it? Dazzy Star, if you have thruster controls, you should, in the control setup, you should be able to set up thruster controls to roll your ship to the left or the right. And that should be able to pop your SRV back on its wheels. Ada, isn't that like every ship made by the default Lakon designer? What do you mean the default Lakon designer? I mean, Lakon also, for some baffling reason, managed to produce the Challenger and the Chieftain. Somehow Lakon did it right. Also, the Asp Explorer is beautiful, and the Diamondback Explorer is basically industrial hardware. Oh, the Asp Mark II? That would be fun to see. The militarized version? Varad, yes, there's left, right, forward, and aft thrusters on the SRV. You can pitch it, you can roll it. There's just no yaw on it, as far as I can tell. Lakon, Kilo, Yankee, Limo, request docking clearance.
touchdown on landing pad 38.
Pad 38.
3 o'clock far.
3 o'clock far. Got it. Dazzy Star, 1 second. Let me get Landon. I'll load up the controls. Gear down.
Lowering gear.
There. Let us never speak of it again. Menu. Okay, so here in the controls. Scroll on down to, what is it, driving? Let's try driving. SRV, roll axis, roll left button, roll right button, also pitch up and pitch down. That's what you want to look for. You want to look for driving. It's right underneath the galaxy map menu. Yeah, no problem, Dazzy. Every ship Lakon makes looks like a variation on a rock. As was mentioned earlier, if you look at a Chieftain from the front, and you look at a Type 6 from the front, you will see a few similarities in there. Stay in same sector of space or jump from system to system without a care. Personal preference, Mr. Headsworth. If you stay in the same sector and basically run a whole bunch of stuff, would you have a home system? I do have a home system. Our group, Errantry Alliance of Narvert, astonishingly based in the Narvert system. The more you stay in a system and the more reputation you build up with the local factions, the better missions they hand off to you. For instance, let's look at a... Because I know I'm not hugely popular with at least one of the factions here. Here we go, the Narvik Gold Brotherhood. They will offer me missions like, deliver 22 units of Gallite for 200 grand. Boom time delivery for 28 grand. 38 grand here, on a high end. Now, if I go to the Errantry Alliance, where I am fully allied, now we're delivering stuff for 111 grand. There's missions here for assassination missions that pay out 1.2 million and give you good data. But if you jump around from system to system, you can kind of find your way around here a little bit. Not being tied down to a system also has its advantages. For instance, here in Narvert right now, the Errantry Alliance is at 52% and dropping. Well, good, because we're at war. But if you just do missions for one faction over and over again, you're going to bump their influence up higher, and then they're going to eventually expand into another star system, and then you just got mess. Chieftain and Challenger are pebbles collected from the bottom of a river instead of chipped off a rock. Pirate Lord, huh? So if a keelback will do it, we know an Asp Explorer will do it. So let's pull out the Taurus. And Mr. Headsworth, the Taurus, this is my Alliance Chieftain. And this thing is as engineered as you can get it. The only thing I have not engineered on this thing are the module reinforcement packs, because you can't engineer those. Lights on?
On.
But this thing has nearly maximum armor. It's running some pretty hefty stats here. Armor health, 3,200. Excuse me, 3200. Hydrate, people. Shield health is 865 with some very strong resistances. Gear up. Oh, Sanson will agree with me that this, you know, Sanson will not disagree that this has no armor. He will agree this has armor. It's just not the maximum armor. What's the difference between super engineered version and standard? Well, let's see here. Let me... Just better in every way, yes. Let me pull up the... let me pull up the design spec here.
You are clear of the station. Have a safe trip, Commander.
So here is an Alliance Chieftain. This is a stock Chieftain on Coriolis. And I mean, you can... In fact, let me just A-rate this thing. Just set it up for combat. So this is a Chieftain set up for combat, and go ahead and put in the, you know, put in the weapons you want, etc. You can play around with this as much as you want. Let me load up my ship now. Give me a second here. Yeah, Sanson's armor has all the armor. He bought out several systems worth of armor. This is the Taurus. This is the build on the Taurus right now. His armor has armor, and I am not even exaggerating. You know, the more armored a ship is, or the more armored a thing is, like World War II. They had the Mouse. That was a super heavy tank made of a whole lot of armor. Then they wanted to build the Rat, which was, you know, going to be an ultra super heavy tank, basically a battle cruiser on treads. If Sanson were to follow that naming convention, his would be the Micron, maybe? The Gnat? The Quark, perhaps? Yes. Sanson has all the armor. In fact, we had to go fly to several different systems to get spare armor. Yes, and then the Monster, which was, hey, let's stick a 800mm gun on a tank and develop a intercom system. You know, to talk to deaf people. Wait a minute. Yep, he's tracking me. Well, this is gonna be real easy. He's my mission target? Crap. I thought I was going in for a... thought I was going in for something good.
Awaiting order.
Balance. Oh, there's my 1.2 million. Galaxy map.
Oh, look. Bright, sparkly stuff. Isn't it pretty?
And let's go pick up the data here at Wunatola while we're out and about anyway.
Adjusting for jump.
Yeah, I went with the cosmetic boost, or the cosmetic package for the weapons and the engines, so...
Interstellar travel mode. Engaging now.
I went with a very Decepticon color scheme on it.
Safety protocols for exit.
Glad to see Frag Face is still active. In fact, let me drop down. Here's what the ship looks like in, I mean, it's going to be a little color filtered thanks to the color of the star here, but...
Warning. Temperature critical.
This is what the ship looks like, and, yeah, it's... I think it's a lovely little bit of hardware. So up here you've got 2 large hardpoints. Just above the cockpit you've got 3 smalls, and in the chin mount here you've got a medium. And with the engineering, it's got maximum armor, it's got reactive armor, a bunch of heavy-duty armor packs. And yet it will still jump, well, it'll still boost, well, let's get the boost going here, but it'll still jump to 24 light years. Set to 1. And the boost on it is... thereabouts, just under 530. Now we're going to overheat here. We're going to take a little bit of thermal damage. I don't really care. That's what module reinforcement's for.
Danger!
Key systems at optimal levels. Readying for exit now.
Warning!
Frontier should wing you up on their
Temperature
current bug hunt.
Critical message.
One thing this ship is not good at. In its current configuration, the Taurus is really, really bad at taking on Thargoid scouts. Because you don't want to be anywhere close to those things when they pop. And frag cannons kind of work contrary to that principle. Now, there's other ships I'd definitely use. Load up a Chieftain with AX turrets. Couple large AX turrets. DJ Hengen, you need to stream on the weekends. The only reason I was able to watch today is because I got cut loose early. I'm sad because of that. I've been wanting to expand my schedule. I really have. I just got to figure out when and how, because the weekend is about the only time me and Niao have where we've got us time together. Because she's very busy too. But if we can figure something out, hell, if I can, maybe I can talk her into streaming with me a little bit more. Because we've done that before. We've done exploration streams. I don't know that we've done any combat streams. Is this your favorite ship in the collection? I gotta say it's... I would say yeah. Since the Chieftain came out, and since I got this thing, since I learned how well it works with frag cannons, I think the Taurus has been my favorite. Now that said, the Crate is also a very, very good ship. The Crate has become my number 2 ship. I've just been playing around a lot with the Challenger because I really like the, I haven't played much with stealth before, and I'm kind of enjoying it, and I like the stealth, smuggling, heavy cargo carrying aspects of it. But a Crate is also a beautiful bit of equipment. When I get on my proper schedule, I should be able to tune in on Mondays. Well, shit. Mondays are my day off from the week because then, I mean, the weekend I have with Niao and everything's closed. Well, then Monday is the day I actually go out and do real world things where, you know, shops and stores and businesses are operating under regular shop and store and business hours. Yeah, the crate. K-R-A-I-T. Though also, yeah. And the number of puns, my god. Excuse me. Sorry, something caught in my throat there. Strap 3 plasma accelerators to it. Or the triple, pacifier frags. Those are fun, too. Learned that one. Let's see here. Search zone. Here we go. Described it as a cobra, but more. That's actually not too far off. Or a fighting python. But the crate is everything that the keelback wanted to be. With the crate, they aimed to make the perfect combat cargo ship. They missed. Or sorry, not with the crate, with the keelback. No, the crate is a spectacular bit of equipment. How much damage did I take anyway here? 99% on the shields, 98 on one of the railguns. Yeah, we're good.
Capacity exceeded.
And there we go. There's our target. Yep, stuck for 30 years. Well, naming inertia is a thing. Come on.
Incoming message. Incoming mission critical message.
Mostly do transport missions with the occasional assassination. I would say in that case, Mr. Headsworth, I would go with a Alliance Challenger. It can carry a good amount of cargo. My Challenger without shields will carry 134 tons. If you stick a Class 6 shield generator on, you should be able to carry 68 tons of cargo. And it's got 1 large, 3 medium, and 3 small hard points. So it does hit rather well.
Incoming mission critical message.
Though yeah, don't trade in the ASP. Vox speaks truth there. Vox of truth. Now there's also, there's the Alliance Chieftain. Sorry, the Challenger. I keep mixing the two up. Actually, you've got 2 options. There's if you want to upgrade, the next ship beyond the ASP, I would say there is either the Challenger or there is the Crate. Both very good ships. Yeah, like Terlock says, and, like, if I'd actually been paying attention to what he was saying. Well, Mr. Headsworth, there's a thing known as the Road to Riches where you can scan inhabited worlds, and they will, get good payout when you turn the data in. I don't want to diminish, I realize I've got a pretty good nest egg going, but when you're up to an ASP Explorer, 30 million it's not as big a grind as what it was
All
when you had
systems check
a
out.
Eagle
No
or a
unusual
Sidewinder or a
activity.
Cobra. The bigger the ship, the faster the money is a pretty good rule of thumb on it. An Imperial Clipper, the Pandemic. You know what? I don't think I like you.
Plot twist!
Boom Flare, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the crew. Yep. Family of Adensu and Wanted.
Hull integrity compromised. Power plant capacity.
Alright, take care, DJ. Have a good one, and, yeah. Enjoy. Excuse me.
Scan detected. Under attack. Target shields offline.
Good talk.
Target destroyed.
Set 2-1. Oh, whoops. I didn't actually have any power in my weapons during that fight. You know, I'm reminded of, an old G1 Transformers comic back when Marvel was publishing it. And it was Grimlock wearing an exoskeleton, so, you know, even more powerful Dinobot. And, yeah, finds this Decepticon warlord. They're trying to negotiate with him, and he says, "Don't talk, just hit." And he punches that guy through several bulkheads. This warlord just kind of wiggles his chin for a moment, and the only thing he says is interesting. I almost felt that. And Grim looks down at his fist like it betrayed him. Just the saddest look on his face, just... Why didn't you hurt him? Ah, and my useless memory strikes again. Who was that he was punching? Thunderwing, I think. Engines. Then again, if your fist starts talking back to you, you may have a bigger problem than not inflicting damage with punches. Grimlock will be back. Grimlock needs better hand. Gear down.
Gear down.
So yeah, for the firepower this thing brings, and for the maneuverability this thing has, this thing is heavy, it is armored, it is well shielded, it is armed beyond the teeth, and it's still nimble. I used to say the Python was a flying cheat code. Well, I still say the Python is a flying cheat code, but this thing is just straight up hacks. Now, Mr. Headsworth, those two scan missions I got, you don't need to be good at combat for it. But I am allied with the faction that gave out these missions. So right there, that is nearly 3 million for that one mission. And this one is 3 million and a little bit of change. So right there, that's 6 million right there. Hey, I can now buy an Asp Explorer if I want. Just off those two missions. That's a benefit of sticking around in one area and getting to know all of the factions very well. Also, another thing, if I had my Challenger here, with its cargo space, I could make another 2 million just delivering gold. Now, I don't have the cargo bays on this thing. This thing is just straight up... This thing is just straight up murder the hell out of stuff and deliver data. Do the gold pirates want anything? Disable settlement power grid? Oh boy, this is what I've been looking for. I've been wondering how well this will work. Set a course for home. Set a course for home.
Stellar cartography.
This is
Heading
what I
course.
set up the indecent proposal for. I want to know if I can drop down out of orbit in stealth mode and just saturate a target with missiles before, and hopefully the anti-missile systems can't shoot them all down. Gear up.
Raising landing modules.
And that is, those missions are not a function of your Pilots Federation rank anymore, at least not as far as I know. You might get a little bit of a bonus. I've heard some say yes, some say no. It is all related to your level of friendliness with that faction. And you can get that if you're helpless, penniless, and aimless.
Living system.
Your flying is so much more majestic than mine? How do you mean?
Key systems at optimal levels. Readying for exit now.
Oh, that's right. This is why I wanted to set up with the Taurus. At some point, I need to set this up, just for all the shotgunning I'm doing.
Die, die, die.
Okay, Grosslago, those planetary scan missions are tied to exploration. So the payout for you as an elite is higher than, say, a novice. Alright. Well, that said, those scan missions will also
Temperatures are at
boost
an
your
acceptable
exploration rank, and quite quickly, if I
Awaiting
remember right.
further instructions.
Yeah, you'll get the hang of it. I mean, what's your control setup like? Oh wait, no. You said you fly Xbox, so you're using controller. Now, I know that there is an Xbox HOTAS available. It's like the T-Flight 4, I think. Preggy01, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the crew. HOTAS, H-O-T-A-S, hands on throttle and stick. It's an actual stick with an actual throttle attached to it. Now that's what I use for controls. I've got a Franken setup, but it's a good setup. I've got a stick, I've got a throttle, I've got rudder pedals. And the one I'm talking about, you can twist the stick to, you know, simulate rudder pedals. T-Flight 4 just works with PS4? Oh, son of a... But double checking, alright. Now, I know there was also an Xbox HOTAS based on the Cytec X45. T-Flight HOTAS 1, yeah, something like that. Yeah, or twist for roll, depending. Depending on how you configure it up. That's the one that works for the One. Wait, so Xbox... Huh. So yeah, we're looking for something that works for an Xbox One X. Which should be the same as working for an Xbox One. Unless they pulled some kind of weird stuff that I don't know about, because I know nothing of Xboxes, to be honest. Gear down.
Landing modules deployed.
Okay, thank you, Ghost. Alright, let's get switched over to the Indecent Proposal, because I am really, really curious if I can just provide saturation bombardment on a target. Galaxy map.
You won't find anything interesting.
Okay, target's an HR 415. Let me guess. Huh. Nope. Alright. Acres Horizon, and that is that's a 2-star security rated place, so this should be a good test. Or I'm gonna get shot down by all the AAA. Delgarian 07, how goes it? Goes well. About to perform some extra legal renovation on a place. Pete Thor, can you exit your ship in the game? No. No. Except in a fighter or in a buggy. If your ship is able to launch fighters. All ships are capable of launching little surface rovers. There we go. Yeah, no walking around. Hopefully someday. Atmospheric landings first, right. Right now you can only land on airless planets, and then only certain airless planets.
Vectors.
Crew command roster. Crewman Eli, all stations.
Oh, how nice. Something. Key systems are at optimal levels.
That is all.
readying for exit. Now. Standing by.
And yes, there's that. Apparently you don't actually leave your ship in the fighter or the SRV. The SRV is kind of an interesting case because if your ship is destroyed, you can still drive around in the SRV. Hello, Yuki. And my spaceship kitten is looking at me like, why are you not paying attention to me?
Interstellar travel mode. Engaging now. Key systems are at optimal levels. Ready.
Just deal with the leg cramps?
Now.
Well, Pete Thor, remember, I mean, you're in 0G, so basically, you know, it's, you know, not too bad there. Pretty sure you're being projected into your ship as well? No, no, no. Where is the hand that pets, human? Well, it's currently flying the ship that indirectly gets you cat food. Alright, let's get a scan going on this ball so we know where our target is. Mr. Headsworth, having the HOTAS will give you more controls as well. You do get extra inputs as far as I know. There we go. Acres Horizons. Yeah, it was a conceit that Frontier came up with so that people, Rambling Dragon Laters, happy hunting. Oh, thank you. Have a good one. It's a conceit that Frontier came up with so that if you want to multi-crew with somebody on the other side of the galaxy, that they don't have to fly back and start off at the same station as you. Yeah, as Delgarian says there. I mean, some days I like the convenience, other days I would like more, you know, risk. Greater risk, greater payout, maybe. Alright, what are we looking at for gravity here? We're already north of 1G. Yeah, I agree, Terlock. You know, that telepresence is less risk, but also less reward. Frontier has a very weird relationship with risk-reward, by which I mean they don't seem to recognize that it exists. I can just drop down and scan the hell out of a beacon and get 3 million credits, easy as that. But at Wing Assassination Mission, where I am dealing with 3, 4, 5 engineered ships, all out to kill me, and the payout is only going to be 1.5 or 2 million. Do you run into other players in the game, or is it all NPC and co-op? You can run into other players. I'm flying in private group with friends, because streaming tends to attract snipers. I've been sniped a few times, and just This is just a case of convenience. I do fly in open when I can, to be honest. I mean, I'll bounce around because the private group I have set up, we're, you know, a lot of newer pilots, and so we're trying to, you know, the older hands, the veterans, we're trying to help people out and kind of show them the ropes. I bought 20 collector limpets. I can only launch one at a time. Now I have none. How have I lost 19? That is a very, very good question. It should work. You should have 19 left. Does it... Check your cargo. Check your ship inventory. Alright, we're going stealth. Disable power grid. Settlement power grid. Oh, we got targets.
Incoming mission critical message. Heat sink deployed. Bounty incurred.
Problem solved.
Phone signature restored.
The settlement guns never fired on me. And I know for a fact that place is armed. They couldn't see me. Yes, the bigger bases are rougher, but they only go up to 3 stars. That was 2-star. I mean, that wasn't exactly a helpless babe in the woods. Yeah, I hit the power plant, it took out all the defenses. That's true, but their anti-missile systems never kicked in. I've seen 1-star bases that have a whole lot of point defense. And they will shoot missiles down like you're shooting skeet. Well, that just means, I guess, that we're going to have to try this again, and I am totally in favor of that.
Hull integrity is within limits. All other systems are at normal levels.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to be doing, Delgarian. Let's see if we can rinse and repeat on that. My insanity laugh doesn't have that level of climbing. I'm going to have to practice. It's probably not good, but you know, a little bit of Frank Welker Megatron, a little bit of Frank Welker Galvatron, and also read enough Girl Genius and get used to the Jaeger monsters and Sparks when they're in the Madness place, and yeah. Used to do the skimmer kill missions like that and made great cash. Yeah, I remember those, the glory days of orbital bombardment. Well, maybe not orbital bombardment, but you know, strike missions, bombing runs. Listen and try to imitate Mark Hamill's Joker. Yeah, that's another good one. You have to have a calm and sweet voice by default to maximize effect. That's true. That's true. No, let's see if we can find more of those. I mean, that was what? 2, 3 missile salvos? I've certainly got the ammo to do it again. Also, being able to lock onto the target from distance now, that is very helpful, because before you just have to spray and pray over the base. Find me a parking spot. Firecats, need help with my voice back, alright? What's up? Gear down?
Gear down.
Laughed so insanely before it actually turned into crying. That was interesting. I did that the other day when somebody was talking crate puns, I think. I just don't like dinging up the hole. I try to land gently every once in a while. I thought that was just tears. Oh no, it started off as the insane maniacal. And from there it kind of modulated. When I say hello to the Orion voice attack, says command is unrecognized. Okay, let me load this up real quick. I think you have to say, hello, crewman Orion. Let's see here. All stations. Say hello to the stream. All stations. Say hello to the stream.
In your limited mode of understanding, you may refer to me as Eli. The nature of my existence and your inability to grasp it in any meaningful way will hinder our relationship, not that you'd notice.
Gummy, thank you so much for the 5 bits. Greatly appreciated. Let's see here. And then there was, yeah, let me check on that other one real quick. Hello, crewman Orion.
I'm here.
So there we go. I'm checking with, yeah, I typed in hello, and there was nothing that was actually just basically hello. All the commands that had hello incorporated into them also had other qualifiers. Conductive polymers, 1,000,000 credits, reputation. Let's go for the rep. Why not? Ray, I'm here in a much better mood than late last night. That's good to hear. Excellent. Glad to hear it, Firecats. Okay, Gold Pirates. Massacre, massacre, massacre. Here we go. Disable the power grid. Why not? Oh, we're getting some nice orbital strike contracts now. Disable the fuel depot power grid. There we go, there's that. So there's 3 strike missions. Now let's actually do missions for errantry while we're here, you know, because that's kind of what we need to do, help out the war effort for my faction. One of those little things... High reputation, a lot of massacre missions. Nothing that great. 56 units of Lepidolite? I'll haul bio-waste before I haul lepidolite. Oh, thank you, Firecats. Sometimes I look at code I wrote a couple days ago and wonder how I could be so stupid. Sometimes I look at code I wrote 5 hours ago and wonder how I could be so stupid. Let's see here. 88 tons of bauxite. Where's the location at? 500 light seconds. Yeah, we'll take that. Gear up.
Landing gear up.
Yeah, it's lithium-based, but lepidolite is just... Oh, you mine it and you immediately just go, oh my god, why do I have so much lepidolite? I just immediately filter it out. Because it's only worth something like 500 credits a ton. Pete Thor, unfortunately, yeah, Windows can only play with Windows, Xbox with Xbox, Mac and PS4 with Mac and PS4. And Mac, they are not going to be supporting it much longer for Mac. There's certain things that, certain graphics upgrades and graphics software being used now that Mac just does not support and is not willing to work with. So Mac only works with basic Elite Dangerous. It doesn't work with Horizons. Which, yes, as Ghost says, should actually improve crossplay. Just got the voice pack 2 days ago, figured out keybinds yesterday, kinda new. Oh, no problem. Now, Firecats, if you want, I believe there's a way where you can either duplicate that entire control setup and delete it and just write in hello. And then you could do it both ways. You could either say hello crewman blank or just say hello. It might... Well, okay, I'm not sure if that would actually work because there's so many variables for the crewman. Hello, crewman Alex.
Hello.
Like so. Foghorn of Discovery discovers many things. Alright, Terlock, sounds good. I was wondering what the command was to put power to engine systems or weapons. I believe you say power to weapons, power to systems, or power to engines. Or you can say attack pattern, what, Alpha, Beta, and Charlie, or Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie? Huh. Missed the destination and I still popped out in the right location. Now, Firecats, what I've done, I actually run 4 separate voice packs together. One of them is the HCS, but on top of that, I've got it configured so that it can run commands from other voice profiles, like Malik VR's voice attack profile he's got set up. That's what gives me the landing commands for circular stations. Like when I'm going into a large station. When I'm going into a large station and it gives me a pad number, I can say pad 28.
1 o'clock mid.
And as long as I have the lights on my right, I look at 1 o'clock and it's halfway down the station. Or I can say, pad left, 28.
7 o'clock mid.
And that's 7 o'clock if the green's on my left side. How does that work? Let me get landed. I can give a real quick rundown on that. And that's also how I'm running Alex's commands. I also created my own custom bindings where system engines and weapons are actually 1, 2, and 3. So then I can say, set 3-1. Set 2-1. And it's much faster. Yeah, Delgarian, I programmed in my, I basically put in the delay between keystrokes as 0.025 seconds. But I had to custom write them. Which wasn't too hard, to be honest, because, let's see, let's go with, yeah, that. Because I'm basically just, I use the keystroke recorder. So when I say balance, I just pushed, you know, the down arrow. And that's what key it uses. And then if I said set 2, or if I said set 1, 2. Well, first off, it would balance. And then it would poke up twice to give 4 pips to engines. And then it would poke left 3 times to give power to shields. And the end result of that is after 5, 7 keystrokes, I was set up with 4 pips to shields and 2 pips to engines. I was going to say, right, so you go into the edit profile, and there should be a options and overrides for profile when you get into the editor. Right up here, options and overrides for this profile. And yeah, you hit that and it should go, the very first tab should say Profile General, include commands from other profiles. And then you just click on those and load them up. Gear up.
Gear coming up.
Engines. Actually, one thing, let me show this. The problem is, I mean, I love HCS voice pack stuff for a lot of stuff. It's really good. The problem is that their landing commands are so damn slow. Request docking.
I'll be surprised if they let you in. To be honest, I wouldn't.
Cancel docking.
Cancelled.
And yes, it is possible to run voice attack without a voice pack. Just issuing commands without... Yeah, absolutely. Alright, Firecats. Take care, sounds good. Manually configure key presses, yes. And in fact, if you have a bunch of MP3s or WAV files, you can create it so it will respond to you. You can create your own voice pack. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I keep making minuscule progress day by day. But I've got the, is Kovas Alex same voice as HCS Alex? I believe it is. Yeah, I believe it is. Alex Martin. But I've got the voice pack, or I've got a bunch of MP3s of Mr. Torg from Borderlands. For, you know, for like ringtones and alerts. And one of these days, I am going to set him up as a separate voice command setup. Just, you know, free, whatever. You can download the Mr. Torg alerts from Gearbox. That's free to everybody. And then create the commands where Mr. Torg will reply to you. I've got him kind of set up here, but...
When you killed that guy, he was like, what?
Okay, Lindbaum Depot. Now it's a large place, but it's low security. We'll see what we get out of this. That command has too many keystrokes. Apologize. That's right. Yeah, Mr. Torg, Mad Moxie. For now, I'm considering setting up a, you know, if I can figure out how to get Torg all set up well and good, I'm probably going to make a Tiny Tina setup. Because really, Tiny Tina and Mr. Torg in a ship full of explosions. You're wearing a Torg shirt right now? You are my personal hero right now. Sierra Bravo 1, have you seen the animated film Heavy Metal? I have. The two aliens. Yeah, Moxie pulling out Guardian Gauss cannons from her stash. My top 3 favorite Borderlands characters. Maybe. I'm probably going to add more in here. 4. My top 4. Torg, Krieg, Tina, and, Gage. I like the tone of your gibberish. Alright, well, let's do this again and see what we get. This time we are not going in stealth mode. Jack, Tina, Gage, and Torg. Also good setup there. No contacts in range. There we go, power grid. Targeted.
Under attack. Taking damage. Incoming mission critical message. Trespass zone cleared.
Now let's see if I continue on here. So they were able to get shots at me this time when I fired.
Trespass zone cleared.
And they singed my hull a little bit. Galaxy map.
Galaxy map.
So now, continuing on this little adventure of ours.
Jumping to next system. Frame shift.
Yep,
Now
Delgarian silent running
no
from the first
anomalies
pass worked
detected.
nicely. So let's try silent running on this next approach and see what happens.
Key systems are
And that was with
optimal
a low security
levels, readying
outpost.
for exit.
So we know that even low security outposts will open fire on you. Right, so let's pull off a scan here so we've got a proper, proper set of coordinates to go in on. Medium security. It's not as big, but it has medium security, and I know for a fact medium security places do have surface-to-air artillery. They've also got plenty of surface-to-surface artillery, which is why going in with an SRV is... it's suicide, just with more syllables added to it. Now, hunting from the air with automatic weapons and high explosives, that's a sport. Well, no, it's not a sport. It's how you win. A fair fight should be the other guy's problem. Yeah, surface to air will wreck you fast. Yep, a fair fight's a mug's game. Jane from Firefly? Yep. Can we just burn? It would be nice, but we can't put down the volume of fire that a GAU 8 can, unfortunately. Kill a guy in a fair fight. He's gonna start a fair fight. If he looks at me funny before we get to fighting, oh yeah. Mr. Headsworth, thanks for answering questions earlier. Real appreciate it. Enjoyed the stream. All right, take care. Have a good one. And yeah, I should be on tomorrow. Usual time, usual place. Oh, and thank you so much for the bits. Some spaceship cows in the chat for Mr. Headsworth. Welcome to the crew. And Megatron sends his appreciation too. Now, I wish plasma cannons had more scatter to them too, because I think raining hell with plasma accelerators would just be fun. Of course, I am slightly twisted that way. Alright, weapons are hot. We're going cold. That is not my target. That is.
Heat sink deployed. Warning, you have entered a trespass zone.
What in the hell? Alright.
Incoming mission critical message. Warning, temperature critical. Bounty incoming.
Warning.
Warning, taking heat damage. Thermal signature restored. Trespass zone cleared.
Easy enough. Settlement power grid out on the perimeter of the settlement. That was the easiest bombing mission I've ever done.
jumping to next system. Key systems are at optimal levels. Readying for exit now.
Alright, so what we have here is a stealth strike craft. Lucian Markov 07. What's the good word? Yeah, me too. Jaws theme is good. Also, the march from Flight of the Intruder would seem to work.
Scanning for anomalies. None detected. Warning.
What? Ah, we're fine on fuel, Eli. What are you talking about? Large outpost, low security. Okay. Just broke 1 billion credits, so I'm off to grind rep for my cutter. Grats, Lucian. That is a whole lot of that's a whole lot of money that you're about to throw into something for basking. Large 3C fixed multi-cannon engineered with rapid fire and oversized. Yeah, but still, it's still not throwing that much lead downrange.
This is like being nibbled to death by, what are those earth creatures called? Feathers, long bill, webbed feet. Go quack. Cats. Cats. Like being nibbled to death by cats.
That was not the file I wanted to play, but okay. Still funny. Nibbled to death by cats. Yeah, I wish multi-cannons sounded like real-life miniguns. Also, I wish they had real-life rate of fire. No, this ain't a good excuse for not being active, but life has gotten in the way. Tommy Turbo, you never have to apologize for that. Tierlock, that is from Babylon 5. No, Tommy, I know life gets in the way. You never have to apologize for that. The shark folks? Well, if you mean the ones with the, you know, the big hair, yeah. Centauri. Huge bullet is going to take slower to spin than a smaller minigun. Well, yes. So, class 1 minigun? Maybe? I don't know. Well, you could always use revolver cannon. And then you just have to spin the cylinder. I mean, the barrel would melt, but if you're looking for rate of fire, that's what you want. Revolver cannon rather than minigun. Well, I do take that back. Revolver cannon does have slightly lower rate of fire, but that's only because they don't want to melt the barrel. Physics. What a pain in the ass, huh? Treshchov's Folly, low security. Well, they'll still open fire on me if they catch me. But first they gotta catch me. Really wish I could disable my transponder too, so, you know, just suddenly you just, one day, Treshchov's Folly. What's that sound? Suddenly the installation power grid explodes. Ray, would multi-cannons be smoothbore? I'm not sure. I mean, for atmospheric fire, spin stabilization is good, but here in null gravity, you don't really need to spin stabilize around. It's going to be going on whatever trajectory it's on when it leaves the barrel. Delgarian, now we need a ship that can have 4 huge weapons. Can you imagine some Imperial madman scaling a Imperial courier up to cutter size and replacing the mediums with huges? Be like the ultimate banana. Sorry, not so much microgravity as no atmosphere. You are correct. Are the cannons in the game classic gas-firing rounds or something else? If I had to make a guess, they're using hypergolic propellant, but other than that, pretty much standard explosion goes behind round, round squirts out tube. I mean, there's muzzle flash, so it looks like there is, there is some kind of gas propellant being used. Or, explosive propellant that produces gas.
Warning, you have entered a trespass zone.
Oh, yeah.
Silent running.
So what we're going to do, we're going to fly away from the trespass zone a little bit.
Trespass zone cleared.
Okay. Can somebody give a permit to Ghost?
Deployed.
Still got plenty of ammo.
Warning, you have entered a trespass
Fuel depot power grid. There you are.
Heat sink deployed. Incoming mission critical message. Bounty incurred. Trespass zone cleared. Warning, temperature critical.
Oh, you got to put a space in there. 1 minute. There you go, Ghost. Bannon D. Let's see, what's good on it. There it is. No problem, Tierlock. No problem. So yeah, all the bounty, none of the being shot up. Ah, banana. Nope, still obscured. Yeah, don't forget to scrub. The nice thing about the Kutnal system is there's scrubbing there.
Jumping to next system.
Been watching as I prep dinner. Find anything fun as you were watching?
Frame shift now engaged. No anomalies detected.
Because I know I found some fun stuff, like, oh hey,
Hull integrity is within limits.
Planetary weapon grids have trouble tracking you in stealth mode.
Warning.
Yes, Eli. I know you don't want to be stranded out here in the deep dark with me. Believe me, it is a mutual feeling. But I am very happy with this thing's performance for ground assault. And just in case I need to get close, I haven't even used the pacifier yet. I have a feeling this thing might be able to hold its own in a fight. Then again, if I get into a fight, I've done something wrong. Nope, we're gonna... Yep. I shouldn't have hammered the throttle open there. Do as I say, not as I do. Find me a parking spot. Gear down.
Wheels down. It's safe to land, unless you're ground crew. And then I'd say, run!
Eli, I hate you. Decide tomorrow I'll do planetary scans and grid disabling among the data runs. I was granted the courage. Tierlock, keep having moments of, man, I want to log in and kill things, and then I remember I'm 4,000 light years out in the black. Do you have a cat by any chance? Because that can solve that problem real quick. More reputation for now.
Incoming message.
No, and the birds are too light to weigh down the keyboard. Gotcha. Alright, Silas, I had my fun. Now let's see if there's anything needs doing here. Wartime surface target scan. That's kind of neat. Data transfer. Ah, what the hell. And yes, we will be scrubbing the ship. I've not forgotten. Strategic data hack. Wartime illegal transportation contract. Here's the smuggling jobs. That's 1,000,000 credits. That's Imperial slaves. Now I'll transport landmines. Galaxy map.
Choose somewhere interesting this time, please.
Let's get the landmines off first. Because I really don't want to hit something or take a round in the cargo bay and end up with either my landmines dumped out or my landmines suddenly working very well.
Key systems are at optimal
Is that even a
levels.
thing, detonating
Ready
cargo
for
of landmines
exit
or explosives?
now.
I've only heard it anecdotally.
Mission critical message.
Oh, now what? War plans require your assistance. Car Enterprise. We pay. Who's this going to? Well, I get a bonus. Get a good bonus. It's going to Luwanja. What the hell, why not? So now it's all going to the same place. Double bonus.
Jumping
Yeah,
to the next
Grislago.
system.
I've only heard it anecdotally that really hard impact in a ship with a cargo of explosives will set it off. I haven't really wanted to test it though.
Key systems are at optimal levels. Readying for exit now.
Incoming mission
You know,
critical
for
message.
obvious reasons. And time bonus, because why not? Alright, we'll get landed at Car Enterprise, and then we'll do the, we'll pick up the scan mission while we're here.
Incoming mission critical message.
Alright, now we know where the target's at. Get landed at Car Enterprise, get reloaded, get rearmed. Is there anybody coming after me? Yuki, are you alright, little miss? Oh, she just gave me this long, suffering look. She kind of had a cough/sneeze. And I asked if she was alright, and she just turned with this look. You know, Niao gives me the same look when she's really miserable about something and I ask if there's anything wrong. Yeah, that look. Or as I've heard it, Tommy Lee Jones, in a permanent... He always looks like his son just told him he wants to ride unicycles professionally.
Silent running.
Lakon, Kilo, Yankee, Lima, request docking clearance.
Request approved. Victor for approach to landing pad 30.
Pad left, 30.
7 o'clock far.
Heat signature lost. Please acknowledge if you require assistance.
Nope, Tower, I am just peachy.
Landing complete. Engine
WTF face, that's, yeah. Oh, that's what happens. That was Yuki's face when she sneezed. Or Hank's face when... He was sick the other day. Poor little guy. And he looked absolutely baffled as to why he was sick. He's like, what's going on with me? Never heard what line, Ray? That they lost contact? The benefits of being sneaky. Yep, benefits of being sneaky. Alright, and hey, 400 lights, nearly 500 light seconds away. There's our other target. Squeaky clean. They never scanned a thing. I saw this picture a while back and I just laughed and laughed and laughed. Gear up.
Landing gear retract.
Follow the greens on your way out.
Right. Remember, this is not blow shit up mission, this is scan shit up mission. Right. Important difference. One does not want to mess up the scanner and the missile launch button. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is good with that. Oh, the bailiff is apparently... Nope, he's flying away from me. I don't care. Ghost Tracker should hear back from Frontier anytime between now and next Friday. Ah, the Comcast way of scheduling. Yes, you'll hear back from us sometime between the hours of LOL and FU. But in all seriousness, Gratz, I know you're getting your faction rolling. That's a big deal. And soon you shall rule a vast interstellar empire. And herd all of the cats associated with it. And again, thinking about my family history, you know, the oldest ancestor officially on the family tree, he got tired of the way crap was going in his home. He moved to a new home, invited a bunch of people out. They came, they invited more people. Everything was so successful until there were too many people for the land to sustain. They blamed him and burnt him to death in his manor house as a offering to Odin. I'm really hoping I'm not going to end up in the same situation. It'll be to Hank, not to Odin. Hank already got his burnt sacrifice, that little bastard. Alright, 0.14 G, so I'm not too terribly worried about crashing into the ground. Lights on?
Lights on.
Comrade Elmo. See, now I'm remembering the Tickle Me Emperor doll I saw a while back. You want this, don't you? Yeah. Right, best watch where I'm flying now. You know, I should have really gone in stealth mode there. Oh well.
Heatsink deployed. Thermal signature restored.
Oh well. Just get a little dinged up, it's all good. As far back as my tree goes, I know my ancestors were cattle thieves in Scotland. Good enough the full moon got named after them in the home region. And then eventually booted from Scotland. Well, that does tend to happen. Eventually, everybody going, haha, their folk heroes go, those bastards stole my cattle. Funny how that works.
Leaving system. Key systems are at optimal levels, readying for exit now.
It was never ever a folk heroes thing as far as I know. It was more of a, did you steal my herd? No, you just left it here. Yeah, my family were apparently Norse royalty. Also the occasional warlord, which was pretty much Norse royalty back when Norway was being founded. No, one of my ancestors was a fellow who, he wanted to marry a Danish princess, and this is when Norway wasn't actually unified. It was just a bunch of little kingdoms here and there. And she said, I'm not going to marry anybody that's got such a tiny piddly-ass kingdom. Now, when you come back with someplace as big as Denmark, then I'll think about marrying you. He goes, alright, that sounds like a good idea. Straps on his sword, says BRB LOL, it goes and conquers everybody. Comes back. Right, so, who sits on the bride's side and who sits on my side? Harold the Fair-Haired. Noble people in Old Hungary's eastern edge in Transylvania. Ooh, the fun place. Gear down.
Lowering gear.
Taking damage.
You know, that worked a lot better in my head. Again, light posts, the real hazard of Elite. Phone just now got to you telling your princess story. Sorry about that, Sanson. Alright, here's your scan data. Now give me something better. I don't want reputation. I want influence or money. Come on, Silas. It's a war. We need some influence. Get your shit together, man. Reward, bio-waste. Silas, when I say get your shit together. Little troll. 2.7 million for a surface scan. That ain't bad. That's good money. Also, exquisite focus crystals. That's grade 5 materials. What do I have for exquisite focus crystals? I've got 34. I could go with more than that. Okay, back to Luwanja and Gold Pirates. What do you want? Data hack, not bad. Illegal transportation, alright, fair enough. Hey, we're going to Luwanja anyway, this is perfect! Right, let's remember which one's the scanner and which one isn't. I'm already wanted there anyway. Gear up.
Landing gear up.
I've been bad there. I've been bad in a lot of places, let's be honest. Never been caught, though. That's the important bit.
Exit destination confirmed. Arrival in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Actually, given how well the war is going, I tell you about the time I racked up 17 million in fines. Well done. Well done. I don't know if you have or not, though. Let's hear some details. Gather round, kids. It's story time. You know, dropping 700 tons of bio-waste, I really should have just gone in low and got the fines. I mean, do they eventually execute you for grand littering?
Hello.
Master 10, hey, welcome aboard. Some moron was asking me to fly slaves from his station to around the galaxy. Okay. He forgot to see if there was a black market on the exact same station he was at. Alright, I see where this is going. Sabine relay. Low security, okay, well... We'll still go in quiet-like. Right up until we go loud. And that got you 17 million?
Incoming mission critical message.
Mission update, okay. I guess? Oh, it's on the same planet. Huh. That makes things remarkably easy. Oh god, the time I knocked that Imperial interdictor out of orbit, there were so many Imperial players who were really, really mad at me. Guys, I only got paid 100 grand for it. And your ship got a whole lot more hot tubs. I mean, come on, it's an Imperial ship. You'd think they'd have hot tubs. Probably right next to the Seraglio. But no, they're all like, oh, defiled our ships and blah, Emperor this and blah, basking that. Delta Fire Dragon, thank you so much for the 10 bits.
Silent running.
Alright, power grid. Where's the power grid?
Heatsink deployed. Warning, you have entered a trespass
Hold that
zone.
pose. Oh, there's their interceptors.
Under attack. Taking damage. Incoming mission critical message. Warning, temperature critical. Bounty incurred.
Saturation fire worked. Stilt got
Deployed.
slightly cooked on the way out. Not a major problem. I've never played an open. Can you kill PCs to complete missions? No. Since they aren't associated with factions, no, you can't.
Taking heat damage.
Yep, Terlock, Elite Dangerous, Expanded Horizons. Because most missions where you need to kill somebody, they have to be associated with a faction. Now, we support errantry, but we aren't actually... it doesn't have us listed as actual errantry ships. Errantry registered with the... No, long story short, gotta take out NPCs. For those missions. Now, maybe if there was a PC carrying some cargo that you had to steal, that might work. A lot of bounty hunters came to talk to you. I imagine they did.
Thermal signature restored.
I think PvP missions be really fun. Closest I can think of for PvP missions are things like power play stuff. Throwing together some Inara log stuff. Can I mention getting involved in this war thingy, meeting the errantry and such? Oh yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead. First to find me, you should be able to guess what happened to the others before. Yeah, I'm... Actually, let's see here. Where does that... Here we go.
You a bounty hunter?
Man's got to do something for a living these days.
Dying ain't much of a living, boy.
Silent running.
Yep, don't mind me, guys. Just, well, just don't mind me.
Incoming message. Incoming mission critical message. Heatsink deployed.
What are you doing? Ah, clean. Defense Force, a Defense Force hauler, you poor SOB. Why is it that BioWaste sets off the Geiger counter? Well, you see, they ate at Chipotle. Right after somebody pissed off the Russian president. So they got the, you know, the nice little Chipotle norovirus with a polonium chaser. When your defense force is running on a budget. That's not even a budget. It's not even a shoestring. They had to sell the shoestring to make payroll.
Hyperspace. Checking systems now.
Polonium chaser is a phrase that's now going to infect my lexicon. Well, we aim to please.
Anomalies. None detected.
And Seraglio isn't? I feel somewhat disappointed by that. Make love, not nuclear murder. How much money are we sitting on anyway right now? We are up to almost 1.1 billion. It's a good day. I mean, this was probably a 20 million credit, 22 million credit day. Always nice when you can make 8-digit profits in a day. Especially when you can do it just chatting around with folks. Also, I'm going to need to take this storage data and convert it. Could have expelled radioactive tracers from medical stuff? Could be. Though I think that classifies as toxic waste, which is a different subclass. Those are some rookie numbers. Gotta get those numbers up. Sorry, coach. Doing my best. Coffee's for closers. Lakon Kilo Yankee Lima request docking clearance. Now let's see if I can properly land the ship without crashing into a light post this time. You know, ship goals. Radiological homicide. You know what? That does sound better. I like that. ABS, always be spacing. Always be spacing. Gotcha. Or shooting. Wait, maybe not. One of those two, I forget. Also, Radiological Homicide is the name of my Dead Kennedys tribute band. Wartime scan, exquisite focus crystals. Yes, I do not mind. All my yes for that name is a punk tribute band. Oh, you got to talk to me or my lawyer. I just copyrighted it. Okay, well, on that little bit of silliness, let's see here. It's on. On that bit of silliness, I think we're gonna have to call it here for the day. Because, unfortunately, I actually do have IRL stuff to do too. Grumble. Sanson, you thought it up? Yeah, but I copyrighted it just now. I call it the Edison School of things. You think up something? I make the money off of it. Worked for Edison. Anyway, yes. Gonna call it here for the day. Got some real-world stuff, unfortunately, got to take care of because... Unfortunately, real-world stuff. Grumble, grumble, grumble. But always a pleasure talking to folks. Always nice to meet new folks. Always happy to answer questions. Tesla just rolled in his grave. Good. Edison hooked him up to a, generator and just made a few more million. In all seriousness, screw that Edison guy. Tesla got robbed. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Usual time. Usual place. And, yeah, we'll do this again. I don't know what we're gonna do, but... well, we had some fun today, so I'm sure we can figure out some trouble to get up to. So, let's see here. First off, let's roll the credits. And two, who are we gonna send you off to? Unfortunately, Gret's not on. And Gret wanted to apologize. There was a blackout. Grumbles. The way it always goes. Terlock, there you go. Well done on the Discord credit. And yeah, I think we're going to send everybody over to Levangie. And so yeah, everybody fly safe. If you can't fly safe, fly dangerous. If you can't fly safe or fly dangerous, boy, what's a good one? What is a good one here? Don't transport explosives and blowtorches in the same cold. Yeah. There you go. Don't transport explosives. Always be spacing. There you go. I already forgot it. Damn. This is why I don't have the jacket. This is why I haven't made sales in, this is why I haven't made sales goals in 8 months, sir. But no. Take care, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one. And, yeah, let's go over and bother Levangie a little bit. See y'all later.